you have to have a couple of skill sets. At the core, you're a business attorney. You should be like a strategist. But we need to be problem solvers, fixers, because at one time I may be touching what I do. I'll talk about what I do is negotiating the deals, as you mentioned, Rashad, like strategizing, advocating, but you are making sure the brand is protected, copyrights, trademarks. It could be, if somebody's coming to your clients with investment. If I don't do it, it's finding a network of corporate attorneys who may do that. So I'll call it a dot connector. You're really a dot connector. You handle your piece of the pie, which in my case is negotiating, reviewing agreements, redlining, marking up, and then, making sure the client's covered on all other facets. If you don't do it, somebody in your network needs to.
Is it different from like music, film, television?
Yeah, so they're different silos. So I started out as a music lawyer. So I know everything about, very random fact about me. I used to co-own a music publishing company. So I know a lot about music publishing. So it starts for me. I cut my teeth in music. My internship was in music law. So yeah, it's music, fashion, film and TV, visual arts. So there are various, silos in it.
What would be different between?
Oh, the nuance and sort of the deal terms and ask that you're going to ask, because what I'm going to ask for in music has nothing to do in film and television. So when somebody's saying, and it's no diss to other people, they're saying entertainment is exactly what you say, which sort of leg or arm, like you'll grow with your clients. Like I've been able to grow with you on a massive ways, and it takes you into other silos. But at the core, it's always good for an entertainment attorney to start in like one, as I keep on calling them, silos, because you have to know that back and forth. You have to know, like music, I'll know certain triggers and terms. If somebody's saying, what does a producer need to get? Okay, you need to get your front and back end. You need your producer fee. Right? So that's 1% of revenue. Then you need your producer advance or upfront fee. You need your producer royalty rate. You need your back end on publishing. You need your sound exchange. I just mentioned 4 revenue streams.
Yeah.
If somebody doesn't know that, you're missing out. You're leaving money on the table for your client.
Yeah.
You need to know.
I always like when you get the red line,
Yeah.
I want to talk about that because whenever a contract comes to you, there's a red line version that comes back. I always wonder about the time that goes into doing that, and what are the key things that you're looking at? Like I know, like when we talk all the time, it's like the first thing we're looking for is perpetuity. If it's in there, so are there other terms that beforehand? Like if I see that in there, we have to have a conversation.
Oh, absolutely. It's perpetuity, like you said, Troy.
Yeah.
We don't like that word. It's like a curse word to us. And again, let me give the caveat. The only time perpetuity is fine is if the price point could match and align, and it's something that we feel like is negotiable. So I want to give that disclaimer. In rare cases for people, and it may be something, let me give an example. If it's a soundbite of a song somebody wants to use for 30 seconds, they want it in a perpetuity, they pay an applicable price to use it, and we narrow down the territory. Maybe that works for one client, but it won't work for the next. So that's why I'm hands-on with you all to be like, what do you want out of this? But I know in our case, for my guys, we don't like that word. So because of that, I look for that. I look for the term. So again, I like to say something. My job is to get you the most amount of money for the least amount of commitment. So that's how I treat it. What does that mean? If it's a term, can we decrease it? Can we keep it as short as possible? And we get you properly compensated in that window of time. If it's 5, can we get it to 3 years? So we're negotiating terms are very important. Payment terms, when you're getting paid, how much you're getting paid and when you're getting paid are very important, because we know that could be held up. Companies mean well, but they have their net 90, they have net 45. So when you get paid is very important. Services, requirements, duties required of the person. So you may be like, they may be asking for too much, or I'm cool with that. But just knowing upfront what is expected of you is important. I'm trying to think. Of course, everything's important, you all. Again, disclaimer. But the major terms, those are things just initially, so that when I have calls with you all, as busy as you are, I have to say, here's what we're going to streamline. Here are the focal points, and then we attack some of those.
So intellectual property, significant aspect
Absolutely.
of entertainment law. So can you talk about intellectual property, and can you provide some examples where you've helped your clients protect their intellectual property rights?
Yes, like you said, intellectual property, or if you hear people, you hear them say IP a lot. That is incredibly important. It's important for everyone, but specifically, I'm very passionate about our community as a Black community, knowing that, because that's often the first thing that's taken away from us. So it's a matter of what you create. And I just want to also say something. When you create something in the United States copyright law and trademark law, the minute you write a poem, you write song lyrics, there's a copyright. What you want to do is go and take it added layer to it of protection, and you go to the U.S. Copyright Office. So www.copyright.gov. I tell people, go learn that skill set by yourself, because I get it. When you're coming up, there may not be budgets and fees for lawyers. Go learn how to do some things by yourself. So go there, learn how to file a copyright. It's not the most exciting thing to learn the process, but once you get it, you'll do it. Then you want to see, okay, do I have what's called a source identifier or brand name? That's a trademark. Do I have something that people are starting to know me by, right? Trademark that. And I can use you all if you all don't mind using you all as example as clients.
Sure.
Earn your leisure. We are sitting here because this is a federally protected trademark. That is what you do before things get big. You protect your assets. Assets over liabilities is a trademark that's protected. So Rashad and Troy, the best example I'm using here is you all, the company that you all have, and companies, I'm sorry, it's protected. That's the best way to do it. So whether you get the trademark attorney to do it, whether you do it on your own, just make sure it's protected before you walk into these business deals, you all, because I've seen it where somebody has to then either go buy that back or negotiate how to get it back. And of course, the price is much higher than it would have been before the stars started to rise.